Introducing the new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mass immigration is insane and will lead to the destruction of any country that allows unfettered mass immigration. That country will simply cease to exist. At the end of the day, it is a numbers game, a numbers situation. If there are 8 billion people in the world, and let's say you're a country of 50 million, 60 million, or for a medium-sized country, but even for a country like the United States, which is 350 million, given that there are 8 billion people in the world, it only takes a few percent of the rest of the world to move to the country to where it is no longer that country. A country is not its geography. A country is its people. This is a fundamental concept that is truly obvious. I mean, if you took the people of Italy and you teleported the people of Italy to say some part of the United States, it would still be Italy. But if you teleported a bunch of people from some other part of the world to Italy, where they're telling people no longer because they've been teleported to America, then the region, the geographic region, would no longer be Italy. It would be that other country. A country is its people, not its geography.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday evening. It's your girl, Nora Christine. I'm sitting here with my friend, Kelly Corinne from The Kelly Corinne Show. If you're not already following her, I don't know why you're not, but you should definitely be following her. This is the better version of Candace Owens.
Yes, I actually like Black people.
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't say that this week. Maybe you should not say that this week. Though Black hate is real online, but we're going to talk about that. Seriously, guys, go check her out. Definitely go follow her on Rumble. We are going to be doing a Rumble only show at the end of all this. So I need you to go to Rumble. Kelly, let them know where they can find you at.
Yes, you can find me. My handle is Kelly Corinne. There it is. My YouTube. I'm the same on Rumble. We're going to get funky on Rumble because, on YouTube, they censor us in the whole bit. So, yeah, we will be there about 7 o'clock. I set it up for 7 o'clock, Nora. So we'll be talking about that. But that was no shade to Candace. I agree with a lot of things Candace says, but when it comes to race, we don't really see eye to eye. But other than that, I do agree with a lot, especially with some international things. I agree with her.
Mia, are you working? If you're not working, come join us. Text me.
Oh, where's Mia? Yes, come on.
Yeah, Mia, come on up. If you're not working, text me and I'll send you the link. I was gonna write you, but I'm like, oh, I wonder if she's working. I see you're on here. Yeah, so we're ready to rumble. We're gonna remind you guys at the end. So yeah, go follow us on Rumble. But tonight, what we are starting with is the immigration story of the week. What is the truth behind this Maryland father that was deported? Now, Kelly, you live in Maryland. Can you let everybody know about MS-13 and what's the truth with them? Because there were some mistruths, I think, that are spoken by the left as usual about MS-13.
Yes, I think my boy Devin in the chat. I think Devin is in the Maryland area too. I'm gonna tell you, these MS-13s, they are off the chain, Nora. Chat, they are off the chain. They are in Northern Virginia, Maryland, a lot of Hyattsville, Prince George's County area, but the northern Prince George's County area, and Washington, D.C. And D.C., they're kind of like in the Columbia Heights area. Yes, Northern Virginia. They are off the chain. They do I said Santeria. I think some of them practice Santeria, but they are Satanists. Yes, Devin. Yes, he's Maryland. And I'm trying. Oh, you got to put it up. I can't put it up. But Devin's comment, dominated Hanover, Maryland. Yes, yes. They have. It was one MS-13 that was a 16-year-old. I covered this story on my channel. He raped and unalived a 19-year-old woman. He was 16 years old. Raped and unalived a 19-year-old woman. Strangled her in her trailer. And here was the kicker, Nora. I think I talked to you about this. The guy, as a suspect, they knew he was a suspect. They let him enroll in Edgewood High School. And I'm sorry, you said Hanover, Marion. I was thinking of Hartford County, but it's still near. It's still not far. Or still is all this area is not too far. Dude was enrolled in a high school, a public high school, as a suspect, as a murder suspect. They did not tell the school, so he was in school as a suspect. It was a whole. He was a known MS-13 gang member and an illegal immigrant, by the way, as well. My mom, when she worked in Northern Virginia, and she worked for the federal government, they would have one time they had to shut down her whole building because there was an active shooter that was an MS-13. My mother couldn't come pick me up from school. I don't know if y'all know, but shelter in place, they had to move away from the windows. These shamed. Like, so that's why when you had it on your story, I was like, nah, they kind of are like terrorists. I mean, they chop off people's limbs.
They do. What's the number that girl gave about MS-13? She said it was only like 13,000.
What in Maryland?
Let me tell y'all something. Y'all really need to stop Googling stuff. I'm gonna be so serious. I'm about to show you this article I found. Okay. She said it was only like 15,000 people. Remember, Kelly? According to this is a actual like encyclopedia article. Do you see this number here?
No, I can't see it. Just what's it say?
This is just in South America alone, Cal. 50,000 to 70,000 members in Central America alone. That doesn't even include the United States. Why would we not think this is a concern? And a lot of the men that are coming through that border are able-bodied men.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's sex trafficking. It's a lot of it's a lot with them. Drug stuff, like all the crimes you can think of. If she's saying 13,000, maybe she just means in just Maryland, or just like maybe she's not including Virginia and DC
and Chicago. Because isn't Chicago that part of the reason why?
Hold on. She's saying it was only 13,000.
Let me show y'all why y'all should not use Google. Let me show y'all why y'all should not use Google. Look at what this says, Kelly. In 2018, there was an estimated 10,000 MS-13 gangs, representing less than 1% of the total number of gang members in the U.S.
That's not true, and
it's a lie.
I'm gonna tell you how I know it's not true. First of all, most of these people that's in this gang, they're El Salvador. In America, they're in Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia. They're also in Chicago. They're also in California. There's a whole MS-13s was so big a gang in California. They created a second gang to retaliate. It's called 18th Street. I don't know if y'all hit, but 18th Street, that was a whole other gang that was created in California to resist MS-13 because there was so many MS-13. So that I don't believe that figure at all. There's no way.
I don't believe that figure. And that was 2018. Who's to say it hasn't tripled? Because COVID, we saw under Joe Biden, we literally saw millions of people coming through that border. I think that number is much, much higher. And that's why we're going to talk about this today. So guys, the big story of the week is allegedly a Maryland father was illegally or falsely, erroneously, whatever the term the left wants to use, deported to an El Salvador prison. Let me play this clip where it talks about the judge who, mind you, is an Obama appointed judge, now rules for his return to the U.S.
Judge Giudice granted the preliminary injunction and ordered that Kilmar Albrego Garcia be brought back to the United States by 11:59 p.m. on Monday. She found that the government did not dispute that there was no legal basis whatsoever for his deportation. She found that the government's arguments that she was powerless to order him brought back to the United States were without legal merit. And she found that he was suffering irreparable harm with every day that goes by while he's separated from his family and while he's detained under such harsh conditions in the infamous CCOT prison. He's not being detained based on any Salvadoran legal process, but rather he's being detained because the United States government has requested that he be detained. And so for that reason, she found that the defendants do have the ability to bring him back to the United States, and she ordered it.
Okay, Kelly, what's your thoughts?
Okay, so I think it's utterly ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, all of these people are criminals. Okay, like I said this, this is how hard I go. I don't care if it's somebody's sweet old abuela that bakes flan and cookies. She crossed that border illegally. She gotta go. So the fact that they're trying to say that this person didn't get his due process, this and the third, dude is not an American citizen. Okay. And I know that same judge, she made a quote. Now, I don't think she was talking about this guy. She was talking about Trenda Agua, but she was saying this, but it's the same judge says that the Schnazis got better treatment than these people. Do you remember that? Remember that quote?
Yeah, that was the left's argument on our show the other night, that the Schnazi officers got better treatment than these people do.
Look, and here's my thing with that. Everybody knows that. Do y'all not know about Operation Paperclip? When what was it? 1300 Schnazi scientists came to America and they gave them these jobs in NASA, in our government, blah, 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 blah. So
Yeah.
none of that even, who cares, lady? We know that, we know our history. A bunch of them went to Russia.
Right.
A bunch of them went to Argentina.
Exactly.
Okay? The federal government employed them and gave them jobs. But they saying that too. They always go to the Nazi thing when it comes to the right.
Always.
It's kind of becoming you're beating a dead horse here with it. But
You're kind of desensitizing me at this point, because the reality is I'm sick of everyone comparing what's going on now to Nazi Germany. It's nowhere near comparison. No one's being killed. No one's being detained. Families aren't being moved around. Like, come on now. Like, get out of here. People are being pulled over by ICE. They're being ran, which should have been happening for years. And if they are having a legal status, they're being removed. You're a criminal at that point. You need to go.
Right. And back to what the judge was saying and all of that. Why I have no sympathy is because, and I always call Trump this, but it's with love. The orange man made it very clear. Okay. You here illegally, you need to self-deport. Where I live, they got the commercials. I seen Christy Nome. She's saying, hey, self-deport. Because if you don't self-deport and we catch you, you can't ever become an American citizen. So he had time to self-deport. Yeah, they sent them to CCOT, which is that prison in El Salvador. It's supposed to be a terrible prison. Again, dude, you should have self-deported. Now, the only argument that I would even entertain from somebody from the left was initially, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Nora, because you know more about this immigration than me, but my understanding was they were supposed to deport them to their country of origin, meaning this dude would have went back to El Salvador.
That would be my only argument at this point. But let me explain. Okay. So not to conflate him, I'm going to show you guys court documents today. So when the left is telling you their foolishness, you can reference these court documents I'm going to show you today. But not to conflate the two. I do agree with that. I do agree that you should be deported to your country of origin. But Trump's argument is this: I'm sick of deporting these people to their countries of origin and them finding their ways back in. Because how many times have we heard stories, people being unalived, robbed, raped by, oh, he was deported in 2018 and found his way back in. Too many times. The little girl that got murdered, multiple little girls. I don't even know. Take a pick. That's the story behind all of them. The man that set the woman on fire on the train. That was the story behind it. So Trump is sick of it. And I agree with Trump. So this is the agreement he has with this prison. He's paying the prison to hold these people. He's paying the prison to hold these gang members. And he's not just randomly deporting like he's only doing this to like the alleged gang members, to be clear, from what I'm understanding. He's deporting them to this prison and he's paying them. And that was the whole argument behind the Trump administration. Oh, sorry, we made a mistake, but hey, we dropped him off there. They have to release him. And then their response was, well, Trump, you may have made a mistake, but you're paying us to house him. So what do you want us to do? And that's kind of been the back and forth with this fella. And again, the receipts I'm going to show, I'll let you respond, Kelly, and then I'll go into the receipts because I'm sick of them saying that this guy's this poor innocent guy. There's a reason why Carolyn has been defending this each day. Levitt, I'm talking about press secretary.
Okay. See, and I'm glad you explained that because that was information I didn't know, and that makes sense. For me, I do believe the guy is a gang member. They was able to trace back that he once upon a time was a member of this gang. I'm gonna keep it a buck. We both are from urban areas. We both know when you were once upon a time in a gang, yeah, you may say you're not active no more, but if you have beef from way back when you was banging, you still gonna have that beef. It doesn't matter if it's 10, 15 years later. So that doesn't mean anything to me. Number two, dude had those tattoos from the gang. Again, people from these areas, they're not getting certain tattoos. They're not gonna do it. Hey, Gray, what's up, Gray? So yeah,
I know that's me.
No,
you're seeing it. Yeah, because it's I'm responding and then it's posting it on the
Facebook.
You'll know when he's on. It's me though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so let's look. Send him back to where he was going. I don't agree with this judge. I'm rocking with Carol because I have seen what Caroline Levitt has been saying. I'm with her. Hey, Chip.
Exactly. So we gonna show y'all the receipts because again, the left is on one this week about this guy. So the story of this fella is he was initially came in the country in 2012. The same story they all say. Oh, asylum seekers. He was detained in March 2019. He was actually detained while at a Home Depot. I'm assuming looking for work, working under the table, taking from an American job, taking from an American contractor, working under the table. But again, these are the things that the left doesn't talk about. I'm sorry for these people, but at the same time, them being here, whether they're a criminal, whether they're directly robbing, raping, killing people, they hurt Americans by coming here, staying in this country illegally because they work under the table, they undercut American workers to work under the table. That's another thing that people don't talk about. How it hurts American workers. So here we go. He's at Home Depot chilling out there. He gets picked up. The respondent is a native and citizen of El Salvador. On March 29, 2019, DHS served the respondent with a notice to appear. Did he show up? I'm sure he did it. And that, again, another issue I have with these people. They never show up to court, Kelly. Why do you think that is? They never show up to court.
I think they know they have a criminal background. That's what I think. I don't know.
And he was ordered to be removed at that point. This was the finding that he was a member of MS-13. It only came up because he was asked for bond. The immigration judge reviewed the evidence and found that he showed he is a verified member of MS-13. So again, they did their own research before. And that's why he was ordered, because he was found to be a gang member. Respondent is a gang member who appears to be trustworthy and is supported by other evidence in the record, namely information contained in the gang field interview sheet. Although the court is reluctant to give evidentiary weight to the respondent's clothing as an indication of gang affiliation, the fact that a past proven and reliable source of information. So dude probably was living a clean life currently, but sorry about it. You broke the law at one point. And Kelly, can we talk about before I go on with more evidence, your understanding and speaking to people, to get in a gang, you got to do stuff. To stay in a gang, you got to do stuff.
Yes. These guys are not, this guy was not just a carpenter his whole life. He did stuff to join that gang. Again, this particular gang, they do, y'all, they use machetes, y'all. Okay. They be using machetes, cutting people off, doing all kinds. These people, they get active. And again, my chat knows, Devin in the chat, he knows, like they are always in the news doing something
always
savage. And I'm not talking gangs are bad, but it's a different type of level of like gruesomeness that this particular gang is known for in this area. I'm just keeping it a buck. And look, even the dude was having a clean life. This is something that me and my husband do. Y'all, I watched this show. Y'all remember Chris Hansen? Remember Chris Hansen, to Catch a Predator? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Hansen has a show. It's still kind of like To Catch a Predator. It comes on True TV. It's on YouTube sometimes. There was a guy that was trying to have relations with a minor. Okay, this guy was an illegal alien. This dude was a very successful in his business. He owned like a cleaning company, okay, and had contracts. Whole time the dude was an illegal alien. The guy actually was quite pleasant. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was very respectful. Didn't even really say nothing too nasty to the girl. I mean, let me be clear. He still was a PDF file. He still was trying to do something with an underage, with a child, but he was very mannerly. But at the end of the day, dude was an illegal immigrant and was trying to have underage relations with a minor. And again, had been here for a while, kept his nose clean for a while. So I'm saying all that to say, just because you haven't had any charges doesn't mean you're not engaging in illegal activity. That's why Americans break the law. You know what I'm saying? This is where our country is. People break the law. But these people not even supposed to be here, and they're breaking the law. And just because they don't get caught doesn't mean they're not breaking the law. So that's what I'm saying with that guy. That's my whole thing with
facts. And that's what I'm saying. So going back to more of our receipts, we established just because he's no longer probably active in the gang, he did things to be in said gang. The immigration judge also found that Abrego Garcia was a flight risk. Oh my God, read this. History of failing to appear for proceedings pertaining to his traffic violations. Bro, like, we all make mistakes. We all get pulled over sometimes. So I'm not judging him for that. But when have you ever been pulled over, Kel, and not participated in court, not participated in paying the ticket, not participating in showing up for court as an American citizen? Do you do that?
No, I'm a square. I'm all the way a square, Nora. I follow the law.
Though. You should be, and they should be. Let me explain to you as a child of immigrants. When you're an immigrant, you follow the law. You play the game. You show up. You make sure you renew your green card on time. You make sure you show up at that the green card immigration office when you're supposed to. Law-abiding immigrants do these things. The ones that don't, sorry, he didn't show up for multiple traffic violations. What does that tell you about him as a person? You're a square. He's not. You understand what I'm saying? Abrego Garcia appealed to the Board of Immigration Appeals, which affirmed the immigration judge's finding on dangerousness and thus dismissed the appeal.
Look,
fast forward. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna wait till you finish. So
this is all 20. So to be clear, y'all, this is all 2019. Fast forward 6 months with a new tactic. Instead of challenging the finding of removability, Abrego Garcia filed a new claim. You ready for this? Asylum. This is what they do, guys. It's not genuine asylum claims. This is what these jokers do. They go to an attorney. The attorney I'm gonna tell you how the conversation goes. They sit down in the attorney's office. They say, "Well, I really want to help you, but do you have any chances of asylum? Let me step out the room and you think about this." They sit down. Hey, let's say asylum. This is what they do. I don't believe he needed asylum. I believe this was a tactic in 2019, and he's going off of it.
Look, this is what I was going to say as far as the traffic violations, and I'm not trying to pick on the dude. I try to be a nice person. What's up? Something to think about. This is what I thought about when you said those traffic violations. How many illegal immigrants get into accidents and then unalive an American citizen? I know at least 2 cases where that has happened. And again, I have a full-time job. I'm not even covering all of this, but I do remember in Texas, there was an illegal immigrant, a drunk driving illegal immigrant, got in a car accident, very much injured a mother and unalived a little black girl, Ivory Smith. That was
Kelly, speaking of which, look at we have a lefty in the comment. Immigrants follow the law and commit less crimes than citizens. What do you have to say to that, Cal?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. How would we possibly know that they commit less crimes? A lot of people commit crimes and we don't know about it. So that's number one. Number two, because I've heard that figure before. Once again, this is my country. This is Nora's country. Americans are going to commit crimes. Every country has people committing crimes. That is their country. But why is it okay for a group of people to immigrate illegally? And because Americans commit more crimes, I'm supposed to not worry about the people that have no business coming here committing crimes. Like the two, that makes no sense to me. Like I don't understand the correlation. Like I already got to deal with the Americans that are committing crimes. Why should I have to worry about the illegals because they do it less? Like that's like the crazy.
Listen, bro. American citizens unalive American citizens all the time. I can't do nothing about those American citizens. And Donald Trump and the Republicans have a zero tolerance justice system, so we'll deal with them then. Okay, we got to get the illegals out first. They'll be next. Don't worry. And then this is their typical. This is the left crashing out. But I'm not even going to put anything anymore.
Yeah, I'm not even.
This is what they do. I know, but the point I'm making, every time you make a valid point, this is them crashing out.
And furthermore, I don't know why people say that, because say that to Jocelyn Nungary's mother, that little the mom of the 12-year-old girl that was brutally gang raped and unalived. Say that to a little Ivory Smith's mother, whose daughter died by the hands of an illegal immigrant, a little 7-year-old black girl that died. We had 15,000 rapists, known rapists. We had 13,000 known unalivers. And let's keep it a buck. It's much more easy to commit a crime in an in a foreign country than it is in America. So yeah, those people were just the ones that was dumb enough to get caught. And again, I'm pretty sure it's easier to get caught in that country. So if it's 15,000 confirmed, it's probably 3 times as much because they didn't get caught doing a crime. Like that's that. Again, I think that's a nasty thing to say. And again, if you want to be on the side, if you support quick citizenship, fine. I don't, but that's fine. But to say that statement like, oh, you're more likely to have a crime committed against you by an American citizen, well, duh, but how are you going to, like, just to say that, knowing that so many people have been victims of these illegal immigrants? I just think that's just a disgusting thing to say. That's my opinion.
Facts. And it's okay. We're gonna keep dropping the bombs tonight, because we're going to break it down. We might have to push Rumble back a little bit, but it's okay. We'll let you know when we're switching it over, because we can always go at any time, right, Kel?
Yeah.
Okay. So next, receipt. And so at the hearing, while he was applying for asylum, he testifies that he fears returning to El Salvador because the 18th Street gang was targeting him and threatening him with death because of his family's pupusa business. Mind you, y'all, the family ain't even there no more. They all here in America. His 2 brothers have green cards. His fiance is a citizen. They're all here. So I don't know about what pupusa business he's talking about. He argued that the gang was extorting his mother, Cecilia, that they threatened to kill him. Of course, they never reporting anything to the police. Still, he fears for his life. 8 years later, he testified, even though the family has closed down said business.
Well, here's the thing with that. Here's the thing with that. Let's say he got some distant relatives wherever, which clearly all of it's bogus because you just said the family's in America. Hey man, you're in a gang. It sounds like, and I just told y'all, 18th Street beefs with MS-13.
You said it.
I didn't even
know about any of these facts. Kelly's hearing this for the first time.
Exactly. So that from what I think, it's not about your family papusa business. It's because you're active. You're an active gang member with active beef, and these your ops coming at you. That's what I think. What's up, artifacts? Yeah, like that. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what happens when you're active. Your ops gonna be after you, dude. In fact, are we sure his family are legal citizens? Because I don't like that. Look, y'all need to go back. Shoot.
Now, the brothers got green cards.
Okay, I can't speak on that.
Yeah. So, despite that convenience of Abrego Garcia's claims, now being 8 years after the fact, while facing imminent removal. Mind you, this is all 2019, guys. And despite the lack of corroborating evidence beyond affidavits from his family, the new judge found his story credible. Even after this finding, the new immigration judge could not grant Abrego Garcia's asylum claim. This was obviously time barred. Ergo, Abrego Garcia does not have legal status in the U.S. However, Abrego Garcia was granted a withholding of removal to El Salvador. That's not a legal right to stay in the U.S., only a legal right to not be removed to one specific country. Any third country would be sufficient. So that's the issue. The United States did indeed make an administrative error. They removed him to El Salvador, where there was a withholding of removal to El Salvador. But that begs the question, could the administration terminate this withdrawing or removal? And the answer to that question is almost certainly yes. If there is a fundamental change in circumstances, that means if Abrego Garcia's life or freedom would no longer be threatened in El Salvador, his withholding of removal could be terminated. Remember, Abrego Garcia's withholding in 2019 was based on his fear of the 18th Street Gang would persecute him if he returned to El Salvador. Well, thankfully, Nayib Bukele, I think that's the president, has crushed the 18th Street Gang. It is now safe for him to return.
Hey. Sayonara. Sayonara.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
Adios. Arrivederci.
Like y'all, yeah, like it's. I just laid it out there for you guys. No more 18th Street Gang. His family's also no longer there. Where's the fare? Go back home.
Go home. Look,
Go home. Bye.
You ain't got to go. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck up out of here. Just get adios. Put Elon. He could put them on SpaceX, take them to the moon. All I give a gosh darn. You got to get out of here. You got to go. You got to go. And your little dog too. Nah, man.
The little dog too. Bye. Like, sorry about it. Bye.
And again, it's in my state, Nora. They be active. It was multiple. It's multiple. They molest kids. I'm not saying every single illegal. I'm not saying that. But I am saying, and I'm not even going to say the race. You know, it is one. It do usually be one race. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, they are committing crimes. Like I cover this stuff. I see it all the time. Like they really are committing crimes. They really are graping. I want to say it was in Indiana. It was a young lady. I covered it. Chanty Dixon, young black girl, beautiful black girl. Y'all Google this. Google Chanty Dixon.
Chanty Dixon. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful black girl was leaving her job, caught an Uber driver, propositioned her. She's like, no, I want to go home. Dude grapes her, unalives her. He's an illegal citizen. So by the way, he took that Uber job that a lot of people use Uber, times are rough. And illegal took that job. So he's driving for Uber. The poor girl graped the woman, unalived her, and then graped her dead body again. Okay. The woman was like 28 years old, single mama too, beautiful girl. It was disgusting. And again, and these are just a few that come into my head. Is more. What's chat saying? Their comfort in crimes undocumented in another country. Wild to me. Yeah. Took it to have access to victims. Yes. That's what I. That's what, thank you, Somali. Jocelyn Nungary, R.I.P. Jocelyn, R.I.P.
Jocelyn, Chanty Dixon.
Yes.
Say their names. I mean, because again, the left will tell you, oh, there's higher numbers of crime with American citizens. Yes, but why would we want to allow our country to have more criminals? Why wouldn't we get rid of the ones we can get rid of?
Look, and I'm going to take it I'm gonna make the chat laugh. I'm gonna take it to another direction. I see a lot of these friggin' liberal teachers, because I don't know if you remember these liberal teachers, and I'm gonna say it, a bunch of them was fat black broads, okay? Radical fat black broads that was like, oh, I'm not gonna, they're trying to come in and mess with my students, blah, 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 blah. First of all, did you have that same energy when CPS
Right.
was coming in to take a little black kid because of that? Did you have the same energy? Probably not, but forget that. Most of you black liberal broads don't have a man, so why are you okay with a population, an illegal population of broads coming in your country? So now not only do you got to compete for a man against American women, now you got to compete for a man with these illegal broads. You broads are stupid, okay? Y'all don't think about that. Devin says, love our skin folk. Democrats pulling for illegals and trains. Facts. But I just
exactly.
My girlfriend, she was like, yeah, I don't like that these illegals are coming over here. And I'm just going to say it. They coming over here. They're having babies with our men, having these nigger babies. Said, hey,
well,
I said, you got
I'm going to, say it as like a holistic American problem. There is an invasion of our border. It's an invasion against white people. It's an invasion against black, traditional foundational black Americans. Hell, it's an invasion against me, and I'm first generation. This is my country. And to sit there and be guilted into feeling otherwise, sorry, not doing it. My family played the game. They did what they need to do. I don't got nobody in my family illegal because they did what they need to do. And another thing, the left loves to attack. My last point on this, they love to attack America. Why are you still here then? Especially the people that are immigrants. Why are you still here? And also, what did you do to serve this country? Maybe if you served this country in some way, you'd learn to love it, because then you'd have buy into it. Like the way they do in Israel. When you turn 18, you got to go serve in the military. Maybe we should start doing that, because this is the problem. Serve the country. Anyways, Mia, hey, girl, what's up?
What's up? Sorry it took me so long to hop on. I finally got here, and then I'm like, food. Because, teenagers aren't capable of cooking or anything. The number one question mom gets asked is, what's for dinner? What are you making? Where's the food? So I was like, all right, well, let me finish making dinner real quick so I can have everybody set up in their own little caves. Because when they get older, they don't bother you anymore. They just dip out to their cave. I have bedroom kids and not living room kids. So my kids
my
literally
11-year-old's like that.
They don't hang out in the living room. They actually hang out in their bedrooms, which is wonderful, which means the living room's really clean, which is great. For me anyways. Yes. I love it.
That's what's up.
Well, we're about to switch gears from immigration to the next immigration story. Mia, you know who Teresa Giudice is?
The Italian lady whose husband got deported for embezzlement or some sort of white collar crimes. Yeah. She's crazy.
So I'm going to remind everyone about who Teresa Giudice's husband is. And he got deported because people like to say it's just, it's racism. Well, I'm about to show you a white tea person that got deported. And I'm going to tell you the latest on her because it's wild. We'll have a conversation to break the a little bit of entertainment news. This is our entertainment section. And then everybody following, please go follow Kelly on Rumble. After the Teresa Giudice story, we are switching over to Rumble. So please go give us a follow because we're going to talk about something Rumble exclusive.
Now, yes, let me put it in the chat.
We got new trouble for reality TV couple Teresa and Joe Giudice. This morning, he appears one step closer to being deported after ICE dismissed an appeal by the Real Housewives of New Jersey star to remain here in the United States. And ABC's Lindsay Davis is here with more on that story. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Amy. Just hours after her husband Joe's deportation appeal was denied, last night, Teresa Giudice dined with a Trump loyalist, but a source tells us that she has not asked for President Trump to intervene in any way. The source also describes everyone, Teresa, Joe, and their girls, as numb.
Shame on you. Stick with your sister.
They're the reality TV couple known for never backing down from a fight.
Hey, Joe. What? Apologize. No!
And this morning, the Giudice family is vowing to do just that after immigration officials denied Joe's appeal against deportation earlier this month. The family attorney confirming the decision to ABC News Thursday, saying, "We are extremely disappointed and will continue to fight to keep Mr. Giudice in the United States, the only country he knows, and reunite him with his wife and 4 daughters." At this point, Joe could be removed from the country at any time.
You know,
The girls still need them.
After completing his 41-month prison sentence for mail, wire, and bankruptcy fraud last month, the Real Housewives of New Jersey star was immediately moved to an immigration detention facility to await the appeal decision on whether or not he'd be forced to return to his native Italy.
That's where you were a baby?
that's where I live. That's where my mother was pregnant with me.
Teresa addressed the confusion surrounding her husband's citizenship status last fall to Michael Strahan.
He moved here when he was 1 year old. So why did he ever apply for citizenship?
I guess that's something you would have to ask his parents. And I don't know why they never made him an American citizen.
Does it make you angry at this point to know that he never applied for citizenship or that he...
Yeah, I mean, I never thought I'd be in this position.
It's been a rocky road for Teresa, who also spent time behind bars and away from her 4 daughters, serving an 11-month sentence in 2015 after pleading guilty to fraud.
Hi, honey. Welcome home.
Overnight, Teresa sharing this photo on Instagram saying, "Joe with the girls decorating eggs. Days like this, I love having photos."
Okay, so here's the issue. According to U.S. law, immigrants can be deported if they're convicted of a crime of moral turpitude or an aggravated felony. On Wednesday, Joe and his attorneys filed a stay with the Third Circuit Court. If his stay with that court is granted, the process is put on pause.
All right, y'all. So obviously, fast forward, homeboy got deported. I tie this in now because she got a problem, y'all. She got married to this new man and she owes $3 million in back taxes. So drops bomb. Let's talk about the immigration issue first. What are y'all thoughts now, fast forwarding? Trump and her were friends. He didn't help him. So that shows you how fair Trump is. Mia, you didn't really get to touch on immigration with us. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I think you and I have had this conversation before. I don't really have a dog in the immigration fight. Personally, my thing is, if you have to break the law to come in, you probably shouldn't be here. If I tried to illegally enter Canada, they would yeet my ass back here faster than we could say, oh, Canada. They would literally arrest me and they would yeet me back. They would not keep me there. I don't think anybody should break into any country illegally. We all lock our doors at night. So that should clue you in. If you lock your doors at night, you should not be for illegal immigration. You lock your doors at night for a reason, to keep motherfuckers out. So, I mean, sometimes it's kind of crazy how people let's let them in. It's but you lock your doors at night. Unlock your doors. That's how I look at it. It's unlock your doors. If you think people are so freaking great and you want everybody to be here, don't be locking your doors at night. Why do you do you think everybody's great? Don't lock your doors. But they still do, because they're all hypocrites. They all lock their doors at night. They don't want to live in these neighborhoods. The fact of the matter is, these illegal aliens, asylee seekers, if you will, they get put in predominantly Black neighborhoods and they suck the resources out of those. They're not the only time they've ever been to a white neighborhood is when they made it to Martha's Vineyard, and those white people yeeted them out 24 hours later and got services for them because they didn't want them. But the fact of the matter is, illegal immigrants disproportionately end up taking services from Black people in Black neighborhoods. Chicago, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, New York City, multiple boroughs in New York City, obviously Maryland. Black people are complaining continuously. So it's interesting to me when I see Black people for legal immigration, because it's well, you can't be both. You can't be pro-immigrant and pro-Black. You need to pick a side. And unfortunately for them, I'm pro-Black. I'm not pro-immigrant, because you can't be both. They cannot live together because the immigrants take our resources. You can't be both. Usually 2 things can be true at once, but this is one of those things where you can't be okay with these people coming here, moving into our neighborhoods and taking our resources. There are multiple articles and evidence from New York, Chicago, Cincinnati, Philadelphia that prove what I'm saying is correct. Immigrants get moved from the border. They come here illegally. They get deposited in Black neighborhoods. They take our children to Black schools, because where are they housing them? In the fucking schools. So now our children are no longer able to attend school as they normally would. They have to remote school. Case in point, this happened last year in New York and the year before in New York. They are taking our stuff. So you can't be pro-immigrant, illegal immigration, and pro-Black. They can't live together. You have to pick a side. And unfortunately, it is what it is. I'm pro-Black. So get them out. or
Facts.
figure out money for them that doesn't take away from us. Because the money has to come from somewhere. So take it away from the rich white people. Do not take away services. Don't take away schools. Don't take away community centers. Don't take away anything from Black people to give to brown people, because you're just making us hate each other even more. And that's where people like me are born, because I'm like, wow, all of this is being removed from the Black community to give to the brown community. So now you're just pitting us against each other, when really we need to be against the government, in my personal opinion.
Facts. And Somali made a good point. You got these kids, we're paying to educate these illegal immigrant kids, which they're innocent because they didn't have a dog in this fight. They just kids of the parents that broke the law. But what's flicked up is you have American kids. Now they're going to school and it's all these gosh doggone interpreters. Like how that can't be good for a child to be able to focus, to learn. You got somebody speaking Spanish over here, somebody speaking Creole over here, somebody speaking French over here. Like, come on, man. And like you said, it's typically in the Black areas. In my state, the three sanctuary cities three sanctuary counties: Prince George's County, which is heavily Black. The second one is Montgomery County, which is kind of diverse, but still one is Baltimore County, and you already know that's majority Black. So yes, you're again out of Maryland, which by the way, Maryland, it's a lot of white people in the state of Maryland, but the densely Black areas are the ones with the sanctuary cities. So
that's where they put them. They don't stick them in the rich communities that have the excess surplus of funds to take care of them. So they're not sticking them in a place where they do have a surplus of funds, or maybe a little bit more of a rural area where FEMA could come in potentially and build, partial housing for them, whatnot. They are sticking them in. They're sticking them in the low income areas, which are predominantly in some of these cities are all Black areas. And people act like we're lying when we say that. It's like, this is the truth. They're sticking them in our areas to suck up our resources. People who live in those neighborhoods already complain about lack of resources, which, I mean, they're statistics tell us there is a lack of resources there. So they're not lying. So you're going to stick them in an area with a lack of resources, and now you're going to make Black and brown fight each other for the same resources that should already automatically go to Black people. But you're going to make Black people and brown people fight for the same resources. That's fucking ghetto and tacky as shit. And like, nobody calls it out. I don't see one person on the left call out and say, wow, that's really tacky and really fucked up and really greasy to make Black and brown people fight each other over the same resources. Mind you, that don't even belong to brown illegals. They belong to the Black people that are Americans that we should be taking care of with our tax money.
We just said it.
Let's never talk about it though.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Kelly?
Mulatto. I see Mulatto in the chat. He's saying, or she, I'm not sure if you're a man or woman, Mulatto. They also said Howard County. I didn't even know Howard County. So that's 4 counties in Maryland. And back to what you were saying, Mia, in California, race relations are already kind of not on the up and up between Blacks and Hispanics in California. So you adding that to the mix, it's not good. That's a very good point. I forgot all about that. Damn, I did not know Howard County too. Shoot,
and the left is supposed to be like this moral compass, and they're supposed to be these great people, and it's like they never call out. They never call out the injustice. They're always first to point to the racism, but it's like you don't call out the injustice being done in these Black communities where now you're forcing multiple generations of families to fight illegal people that shouldn't even be here.
Look, this is what crazy. I truly believe you have some people that are progressives that truly believe in quicker pathway to citizenship. I don't agree with that. I don't really have a problem with those people. I don't like these Democrat cult members, and the reason why I'm calling them cult members is because your boy Obama, because they love Obama. Obama was the deporter in chief. Y'all said it on y'all show the other day. He was the deporter in chief. He deported the most friggin' illegals, and they loved him. I remember when
they love him.
They love him. When Hillary Clinton was running, she was saying the same stuff. She was like, "Oh, if you come across the border, you have to pay a steep fine. You're going to have to get deported. If you come back, you need to learn English." Like she was sounding very like Trump 2024 Trump. Okay. And that was back in, I don't even remember. I don't know if it was, I think it was like 08 or something when she was talking. I can't remember. But I'm like, Oh yeah, Barry Soetoro. Yes, thank you. I should have said Barry Soetoro. I try not to call him Barack Obama. I need to go by his original government name, which was Barry Soetoro. Barry Soetoro. Yes, he said it. And they always forget about those cages. They always forget about those.
Oh yeah, cages with the kids.
So that's why I'm
No,
like,
they blamed that on Trump, but that was the tail end of Obama's presidency.
oh, it was definitely Obama. It was definitely, and I'm
No,
going
they blame Trump too. They blame Trump too. That was the whole
blame
thing.
everything on Trump. Somebody said to me in my comments, a black lady blamed Trump for her gaining weight. Like I gotta do the research on that. Yes, man. Like y'all, Mia, I made a TikTok, and we're gonna move to Rumble in a second. I made a TikTok, and I was talking about how this lady, I don't know if y'all saw it. I need to find it. This poor woman, it was a pro-life interviewer. Y'all, her name is Savannah. I can't think of her name. She was interviewing this woman, and I guess this woman has said some really nasty things, saying like she's okay with foster kids getting unalived. Like that's how much she's pro-abortion. Like she wants the unalivement of children. She's so pro-abortion. The interviewer said that to her. The woman punched her in the face. She's not black, by the way. This woman was Dominican. Punched the woman in the face. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. That's all I say on my TikTok. Here comes this radical leftist Democrat. Well, Trump's making the economy terrible. I said, who's thinking about Trump? Why are y'all obsessed with this man?
I know.
Today, the lies. There's so many. What lies? There's so many. Like which lie do you want to go with? Like what topic? There's so many lies about Trump.
You know what's crazy?
The biggest lie for the black community is them saying he put that article out about those boys. What are they called?
Oh yeah.
Central
Park 5. The Central Park 5.
Central Park 5.
Here's
like, have you read the article?
They never read the article, and it's so funny because look, I'm gonna tell you what I thought. And again, we're gonna get off this. We need a detour, but I'm gonna tell you because it's so funny you brought that up. They always say Trump called for the for the Central Park 5. I said, first of all, in my brain, I said, well, everybody thought they did it. So what's the big deal? Like, it's not like he said they should have the death penalty when, knowing that they were innocent. So I'm just using my common sense. I saw this dude on TikTok said the same thing I just said. Dude said, but nobody ever read the article. The dude read the whole article. Not once did he mention the young men's names. Not once mention the Central Park 5. If you read it today, it applies today about what's going on. Like, because basically you could say that with the young lady that got raped and unalived in that park. He said, what happened to our city when people used to be able to take a walk in the park? He spoke on Asians and Black Americans, saying like all people should be able to take a walk in the park. So again,
he named out different races. This is the funny part.
And
that was when I read it, I was like, wait a minute, how is this racist? He's literally saying we need unity to be unified on being anti-crime and wanting safe neighborhoods for our families.
Exactly. And they forget he was a Democrat at the time, and they have all this smoke for him who was a private citizen, but they have no smoke for the Democratic prosecuting attorney woman that put the charges on the young guys in the first place. They always leave that part out. But again, Trump derangement, the guy can't do anything. Like they tried to take Trump out of Home Alone 2. Remember Home Alone 2, the cameo? They tried to take him out of the cameo when they would go re-air the movie. I'm like,
I saw it on Disney when I watched it this Christmas with my kids. So I guess they put him back.
Girl, I didn't even realize Trump was in the okay, remember when Bobby Brown did the music video to Ghostbusters? Oh my gosh, I can't think of the song. He had a cameo in that freaking video. I was like, oh snap, I didn't even realize that. But anyway, I don't know. That's it. But yeah, y'all want to go over to Rumble? Okay, my boy, I'm gonna put it in here. Something to think about. He linked the Rumble in the chat. I'm gonna put the Rumble in the chat. if you following me on X, if you're watching on X, the Rumble is in my profile in the description. It's the same, the Kelly Corinne show. We're gonna go over there. We're gonna give y'all something to think about. We're gonna give you a beat. We're
New
gonna
party team. The link is there in the chat. Kelly Corinne show on you can type it in on Rumble because I just searched it.
Yes, we are going to talk about what is going on. So there has been, y'all, I think they try and plant some false flags. Bronze says, did y'all question Kamala's blackness? I don't need to question what I know, Bronze. I don't need to question. As a black person, I know when somebody's black and I know when they're not. And I didn't need
You can go watch my old videos. I actually did question it, did pretty well. I got a few thousand views. It actually was trending at the time. So you can go back and go watch it. Yes, I did question and I explained why she wasn't black if you want to go watch and go learn something.
I never had a question because I know as the black person, I know when somebody's black and I know when they're not. And I saw what her father looked like. I saw her mom because I said, well, I knew the mother's Indian. When I saw the father, I said, oh, that's an Indian man. Whatever. But it doesn't even matter because, and me and Nora kind of disagree on this, but this is my opinion. As a foundational black person, the only black people are black Americans. She's not black American. The lady's freaking Jamaican. So it doesn't even matter. Just like Barack Obama's not a black American. Barack Obama is a Kenyan. Father's Kenyan. His mama is Caucasian. Where's the black American there? He's American on his white mama's side and African on his daddy side. I'm foundation. We not even the same. Friggin' Barack Obama from his father from a whole other continent, speak a whole other language, eat a whole different food. What are we talking about here? So yeah.
Jamaican father is Indian. Yes, boo boo. He's Indian. You can go watch my video. I broke it down and I gave you evidence and facts. But again, you said you accidentally stumbled. Yet here you are.
And let's pretend for the sake of argument, the father's a coolie. Because I saw a coolie cousin. It don't matter to me anyway. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not voting for nobody that's first generation anything. Sorry, Nora, if you run for president, I'm not voting for you. I'm not doing it.
Okay. Not gonna run for president, but if I did, I would still get votes.
I would vote for you anyway, Nora, because you're a woman. I'm not even voting for. I don't see myself voting for a woman in no time soon. So that's just what type of time I'm on. I'm old school like that. But yeah, first generation, wasn't gonna vote for Vivek. Your people ain't been here long enough for me. I'm sorry, mate. And she Indian too. Let's talk about that. They got that goddamn caste system over there in India.
Move it to Rumble. Let's move it to Rumble.
Yeah,
so you can say.
Yeah, all right. we gonna set it up. All right.
We have to move to Rumble or they're gonna ban us.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will.
Kelly, send me the link. You didn't send it yet, so I can sell it to Mia.
Okay, let me remove. Okay, all right. Give me.
I'm hopping off just for a second. I'll see you guys on Rumble.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a different link. All right, I'm gonna end the stream.
Okay.
Everybody, go to Rumble.
Introducing the new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.